How was is there something that's called like the annual dive or what?
Ramsey Day.
Ramsey Day? Okay, how was that?
It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
It looked like fun.
It's kind of a camp tradition. So I've been doing it since my freshman year.
Yeah.
It's my third time, so it's a good time, and just to have a little fun during camp. Camp can get kind of long and tiring, and it's good to have a little day off and a day to rest your body and have some fun.
Okay. As you know, you're part of a group that's pretty loaded just as far as depth. I mean, there's seems like all conference players, even going deep, third, fourth string. As somebody that's kind of, you wasn't necessarily heralded in high school, but here you've combined to rush for nearly 600 yards the last 2 years. What's your perspective on being such part of a big, huge stable of backs, if you will?
I'm blessed to be at Georgia, and just to be able to play running back with some of these guys, it's amazing. And I'm in a room with a bunch of talented guys, and we're all good buddies too, and we all get along. And it's just a blessing to be here and to be able to play with those guys.
Mm-hmm. Your dad, Pat, right? He was a walk-on.
He was
here, and then he went to Georgia Southern. He was Erk's only senior. I think on that 82 team.
He was the first scholarship football player at Georgia Southern when they rebooted the program. So that was pretty cool. Cool.
So he was here for at least a couple years as a walk-on, right?
3 years, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, and Erk Russell and him, got along, and he really liked Coach Russell, and ended up just going to Georgia Southern with him.
He might be the only guy that had the pleasure of both Vince Dooley and Erk Russell being his head coach.
That's
you know
true.
What I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. I didn't really think about that.
So he's got a lot. Does he give you any? I mean, I know he played a different position than you did, but I'm sure y'all talk. And
oh, definitely.
I'm sure he visits, and
Yeah, he gives me a lot of advice and stuff. But it was kind of Georgia Southern back then is a little different than Georgia now. It's just kind of the SEC and stuff. But he definitely gives me advice and helps me out. And, he's a good role model for me.
How long was he an assistant? Because he was assistant at Georgia Southern for at least a little bit, right?
He was. I think it was about 3 years or so.
Okay.
He was a GA, and then he was the defensive back coach for a little while. And he actually, I'm one of 9 kids, so he kept having kids, and he was like, I got to make some more money. so he got out of it. And,
back then it was tough.
Yeah, that's right. And so he just had too many kids, I guess.
Yeah.
Since today is Ramsey Day and we don't have much football to talk about, let's talk about Aquinas for a second.
All right.
Give me your prediction on Aquinas football for this year.
I mean, they're looking good. I've been watching them the off season. I went to some of their spring practices and stuff when we were off in May, and they look good. And another state championship, I think. I mean, there's no reason why they couldn't. They got a talented quarterback, receiver. My little brother's playing linebacker and running back for them. So they just scrimmaged Evans High School, which is, like a 4 or 5A school in Augusta, and beat them in the scrimmage. So, I mean, I expect big things from them this year.
Evans got a new coach too, right? The guy from Laney.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.